Hello Internet, my name is Ryan Ingram and today I'm going to tell you about a triplex or a 3-unit that I purchased at the beginning of July. Now this is not the best deal that I've ever done. I've actually been pretty apprehensive about making this video just because I don't want to look these numbers in the face, but nonetheless I want to show this and explain exactly how we ended up in this predicament. So we purchased this 3-unit for $105,000, and the reason we bought it was because there weren't that many deals on the market in July. We weren't really getting any leads from wholesalers. This property was sitting on the market listed at $120,000 for quite some time. So we put in an offer at about 90 grand to see if we were able to, swoop it up in cash really quickly. But the lowest they would go is 105, and we figured that was good since there wasn't anything else on the market at the time. Now, since it sat on the market at $120,000 for so long, I put the ARV at $115,000. I'm really having a tough time with this one because it sat on the market for so long, and because it's a 3-unit. There's not many 3 units on the market in our area. It's normally duplexes or 4 units. So this one is kind of unique, and I'm a little bit out of my element. I don't necessarily know what the comps would come back at, but regardless, it really doesn't matter since we're never going to sell it. When we originally found this property, we had financing lined up with a friend at about 8.5% interest. However, about 4 to 5 days before we were supposed to close on the property, they got cold feet and really just said that they weren't interested in this at the moment. So unfortunately, we had to pivot. We were able to find another one of our investors, but they were at 12%. So we borrowed $105,000 at 12%, which is much higher than the 8.5% we originally had lined up. As usual, this money that we borrowed, it's at 12% interest only, and it's on a 3-year promissory note, which is backed by the mortgage. So there's a balloon in about 3 years where we're going to refinance the property one way or another and then pay off this full $105,000. And hopefully it appraises for higher than $115,000. That way we don't have to come out of pocket in order to equal that out. But the great news about this property is it was already fully occupied when we purchased it, and we really enjoyed the property management company that was in place. We were impressed with the individual, so we decided to keep them in place. Now they charge 10%, and the gross monthly rent is $1,750 between all 3 units. So the property management fee is at 10%, so 10% of $1,750, that's $175 per month. Now the insurance on this property is right around $100 per month or $1,200 per year. Now the monthly payment on the way that we borrowed the money, 12%, easy math, 1% per month. So $105,000, that's $1,050 per month just to make our interest payment on the money that we borrowed. And a big sticking point on this purchase is the people that we bought it from. They purchased it for about 40 grand in like 2012. So the taxes are very low at the moment. However, I imagine that once they reassess it based on the sales price of 105, it's probably going to double. So right now the taxes are right at $150 per month, but I imagine that's going to go up to $300 or so in the near future. So all of these monthly payments combined are $1,475. All right, so right now, as the way that we have it financed and the way that the units are rented out, we are making a grand total of $275 per month. You can see why I was apprehensive about this. I don't like looking at these numbers, especially knowing that in the near future, the taxes are probably going to be adjusted, and that's going to eat into our margins more. Now, none of these expenses have anything to do with like the repairs, the maintenance, the capital expenditures, and I've got a few other videos as to why I explain why I don't include those in my calculations, but nonetheless, you can see that if the roof needs to be replaced, if there's anything that goes wrong with this property, then we're going to be coming out of pocket for that. So ultimately, we need to refinance this property to get these numbers and this margins a little bit higher, but we have that 1-year prepayment penalty. So over the next 12, 18, maybe even 24 months, however long it takes us to refinance the property, we're going to be eating any costs that this property incurs. The great news is we're not losing money by just owning it yet, depending on the tax increase, but nonetheless, over the long term, if we put our 30, 40-year goggles on, this is going to be a phenomenal property for us as soon as we get these margins just a little bit higher. Now, since all the units are occupied, I do not have like a slideshow of the interior of the pictures, but as you can imagine, since there's zero rehab, since the same property management stayed in place, there's no deferred maintenance on the property. I've got a few exterior photos that I'd be more than happy to show with you. It also came with a giant 3-car garage that none of the tenants use. So I've been attempting to get creative. Do I want to kind of build out a tiny little office or a cool place to shoot videos inside that garage? Do I want to use it for storage, let my contractors use it to hold their equipment? There's got to be some way that I can utilize that garage to add value without renting it out, because I want to be selfish on this one and use it for something that I want to, because it's such an awesome, well-built brick garage with 3 operating electric overhead doors. So that's really cool. Thanks for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please just comment below and I'll be sure to answer. Thanks so much. Talk to you guys soon.